All right, everybody, welcome to our business seminar here. The Coast-Flagler Regional Chamber is hosting with Daytona State College, thanks to a grant with CareerSource. So we're able to, because of our partnership with CareerSource Flagler Volusia, we're able to offer free seminars like this one. We do them every month, and we will until we find out whether or not we get funding for next year again. So that'll be in July. But for now, we're set to go through June, and our guest speaker today is really excited about being here, and she's going to do a great presentation for y'all, so I'll introduce her in a minute. I wanted to share with you that we're here talking, we're educating ourselves about our business and doing better at business. If you're interested in education, we have an event coming up with the superintendent of schools, LaShaka Moore. And she is the new superintendent. She was appointed about 6 or 8 months ago. And that's on Tuesday, April 30th. It's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn. It's a lunch. And basically what we're doing with education in this community is we have been concerned about the quality of the education system locally. A lot of the metrics have been declining. And I know when I say metrics, I'm talking about 3rd grade reading scores, 8th grade math scores. We track all of these things. And so as the chamber, a lot of business leaders come to us and say, hey, we're worried about the workforce. And the people that we see applying for jobs that are graduating our school systems don't have the skills that we need for them to have. And so we're working very, very closely with the new superintendent of the schools to make sure that we're engaging the business community. And making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do, because in a lot of instances we can connect students with folks like us in this room today that are experts in their specific field and help these students better understand the careers that they're looking to get involved with. So if you're interested in any of that, just stop and talk to me before you take off. You can shoot me an email. There's more information on the flyer that everybody see. Daytona State College, we're super thankful for them. They allow us to be here for free. So in addition to not charging anybody, we don't get charged, so it's a really nice partnership, and I'm super thankful for them. If you have never taken one of their online courses, or if you want to dust up on something like QuickBooks or marketing, they do have online courses. And I'll tell you, honestly, I took their QuickBooks course, and it was super helpful. So even people, like me that know so much about the communities, we all have our deficiencies, and I just wanted to share with you that Daytona State has a lot of offerings, so check them out online at dsc.edu, and a special thank you to CareerSource once again for paying for all of this, and we're super thankful. Our speaker today is Dr. Pamela Jackson-Smith. She's been a part of the chamber almost since the beginning, if not since the beginning, so at least 2 or 3 or 4, we're coming up on our 4-year anniversary now, which is hard to believe, but I know it'll be in June. So Dr. Pam has been coming to our events. She's been talking about improving her business. She's been out there, and I'll let her share her business, her day-to-day paying job when she's not here doing speaking presentations. But I'm really excited to have her here. And this is a much different seminar than we've had in the past, right? We've done stuff with accounting. We've had presentations on marketing. But this one I was really interested in because I don't know if you feel like I am, but we're running so hard, so fast all the time that, for me personally, there's a lot of burnout issues. And then on top of that, I have 2 smaller kids. So, it's an adventure every day. Yeah. So, really taking time out for yourself is something that I'm personally focusing on in my life right now. And so to have Dr. Pam here talking to us about this, I think is going to be great. And I think it covers more than just burnout, right? It's going to be about a whole host of things. So I'm not going to delay anymore. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Pam, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for that introduction, Greg, and I want to say thank you to everybody that's here today. This has really been a journey this week already, and I am so appreciative and thankful to God that He blessed me to be here and to have you all here. I see there's several people that I don't know, and hopefully I will get to know you, and then I do see some people that I do know. Some of my friends are here. The name of my business is Jacksmith Coaching and Consulting, LLC. I'm getting over a cold from last week. You know how you have that lingering cough that everybody gets, but you're not contagious? If I start coughing, I have some hot tea here, so just give me a minute. But anyway, I started my business officially 3 years ago with the state of Florida as a life coach. And I chose life coaching because I have a background in mental health, and I decided once I retired, I didn't want to go fully back into mental health. I wanted to do something a little lighter. I wanted to work with people to help them make transitions in their life, help them to set goals, help them to equip themselves to realize those goals and do those kinds of things. And so because I was just retiring and a widow, my first interest was in working with women who were in a situation like I was in. You know, being a widow, not knowing, what am I gonna do now? You know, am I now a half a person? Who am I? You know, well, what do I like to do by myself? Because I was married 18 years. What am I interested in? What do I like eating by myself? All those kinds of things. So I was thinking about other women who were widows, women who were recently retired. And as I continued to develop my business, I started to encounter younger women who were saying, well, I'm not 50 yet, I'm 47, can you help me? I had someone to say, I have looked at everything you have on social media, and you're the only life coach that I want, and I'm just 25. So I said, well, then I had another person who said, will you help my daughter? She's in 10th grade. So it's like, oh, wow. So while I have experience with all of those age groups, that's not what I was actually looking to focus on. But prayerfully, I decided to open it up. So now I can be a life coach for women and also for men. I've learned that life coaching is a tool and it's not a person. And that was huge for me because I spent a lot of money on my life coach training. And during all of the training, as I was focusing on the skills and what's trending, what other people are doing now, I was like, well, all of this is gonna make me a better life coach. But what I didn't realize, what was happening behind the scenes with me was personal development, helping to reignite my abilities to speak, to reach out to people, to communicate better, to be able to decide what kind of networking I wanted to do, to learn who's who in this field of life coaching, because life coaching was new to me. So I was learning all of those things and developing myself as a person as I was starting my business. And I said, this is something that's really interesting. All this money that I spent in this program for almost 2 years, and the greatest thing that came out of it was my personal development. And I'm really thankful for that because I didn't think I needed it. You know, I've been a mental health therapist and I have a therapist, so I'm pretty good, right? Well, as a business owner, there were some things that I still needed to work on within me in order to be able to grow my business. And what I do as a life coach, I believe is my divine purpose. Okay, so we're gonna work this out here.
Just push to the right and it should go.
Might be this little box here too.
See, I'm still learning stuff. Still learning this technology. I've learned so much, but there's so much more to learn.
There you go. Thank you.
Okay, so we're learning together today. As we grow ourselves, we're gonna grow our businesses. Okay, I have 5 secrets that I want to talk to you about that will drive your business success. And these are secrets of personal development. And if you will notice, for each one of the 5 secrets, there's an action word. The first one is to prioritize. Prioritize continuous learning. Engaging in ongoing education and skill building. Research shows that entrepreneurs who dedicate at least 5 hours per week to learning new skills are 47% more likely to experience business growth. And that comes from the World Economic Forum. As we work in our businesses, sometimes we forget about the educational part. You know, we forget to go to the workshops and do all those things that, like we have the free ones with the chamber. We don't see that as something we really need, especially if it's not a topic that really pertains to what we're doing. Like we had one from Spirion, and it was about human resources. Well, I'm a solopreneur, and I do have somebody who works with me part-time, but I don't consider myself to have any employees. But learning about the newest trends in human resources was so valuable, and it was for free. The second one is to establish a resilience routine. Develop a daily resilience routine to navigate challenges effectively. Studies indicate that individuals with high resilience are 20% more likely to achieve business success. And that comes from the Harvard Business Review. The third one is cultivate. Cultivate effective communication. You need to hone your communication skills so that you can foster strong relationships. According to a survey by Forbes, 91% of executives believe that effective communication directly influences a leader's success. Communicate, communicate, communicate is what I advocate. The fourth one is foster a growth mindset, and this one is huge. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Entrepreneurs with a growth mindset are 22% more likely to see increased revenue in their business. The source for that is Stanford University. We hear a lot of talk about mindset, and we're going to talk more about it. Number 5, build a strong support network. Surround yourself with a supportive community. Research from the Journal of Business Venturing suggests that entrepreneurs with a reliable support network are more likely to overcome obstacles and achieve sustainable business growth. So this is my thesis for why I believe that personal development is required to develop your business. The power of ongoing education. You want to invest some time during the week that's dedicated for education. And there's so many resources available now for education. You don't have to go and enroll in a college course, but you can read a business book. You can attend workshops. There are webinars. During COVID, the virtual world just exploded, and there's so much available virtually. You don't even have to leave home. Sometimes when I'm spending too much time on social media, I run across different life coaches and different programs who are offering webinars, and I sign up for them. Most of them are free that I sign up for, because I've learned as a business owner that you can't spend the money you're not making. So I had to slow down. And so I'm looking for free. So when we have something with the chamber, the workshops are free, come to these, okay? But there are lots of different types of opportunities out there. You will also find on social media and on the internet, there are different organizations that provide master classes. You can take a master class, and a lot of times if there's a life coach offering a master class, at the end, there's usually the big sale. You know, I do that too, because that's how we run our businesses. But the information you get for just attending is usually so incredible. And if you want to learn more, you can always follow up with the internet. You can find live videos on social media. Sometimes there are celebrities and other kinds of people who do live videos. I don't know if you all remember The Golden Bachelor, but there was a TV show. There's one of the women that I met through Instagram, and she sent me a comment about my life coaching program, because she's a life coach, and we started corresponding. And I learned some things from her, and you know, before I knew it, she had something to sell. Well, I wasn't really wanting to buy, I just want to kind of put her in my network. But you know, there's always something out there that you can find for free. You can get business books on Kindle. You can, so you can carry it around with you. You can download them on your phone to read. You can have them on Audible so that you can listen to them in your car. I know I've been listening to Atomic Habits, Audible, in my car. So when I'm driving around, instead of listening to music, I can do that. Okay. And you want to stay relevant with your industry. Keep up with what's going on so that your business can maintain its relevance. You know, I remember I used to sell Mary Kay, and I remember when they came out with a collection for women with darker skin. And I was so excited to see that makeup. And there weren't many companies that had it. But now you can walk in a Walmart and there's all kinds of makeup for all shades of complexion. You know, and so if you're into cosmetics, you need to be keeping up with those kinds of things. And embrace online learning. I've already talked about that. Daily habits for business resilience. Resiliency is not the absence of difficulty. Resilience is the ability to adapt and grow following adversity, and to be able to do it over and over and over again. And the analogy that came to my mind is a basketball. When you hit the basketball and it hits the ground, if it's inflated properly, it comes back up. And you hit it again and again and again and again. And that's how resiliency works in our lives. We get knocked down, you know, we fall down, things happen to us, but when you build your resiliency, you can always get back up. And that's something that I have become very good at, because I have been through so much. And I also did my doctoral dissertation on resiliency. I did a study on women in the Head Start program who were going from welfare to self-sufficiency, and I wanted to see what their resiliency level was like. And what I ended up with, I found out that I sent out 1,000 surveys around the state of Florida. I got them all back, got all my data crunched, and I found that all of the women in the study were resilient. You know, it wasn't just the ones who were able to move beyond welfare and become self-sufficient, but even the ones who were still there were resilient because they were able to overcome so many obstacles. And I was really surprised because I thought that the moms who had moved on and got involved with the first-time home buyer program, I thought they were the ones who would be the most resilient, but it didn't show that way. It showed that they were all resilient. And I was like, wow, light bulb went off for me on that one. Being resilient, it really helps you when you have a daily routine. And what I like to think about is if I have a daily routine, have a schedule of what I'm going to accomplish today, if I get a major distraction, when my distraction is over, I can pick up where I left off if it's organized, if I have a schedule. But if I don't have a schedule, that distraction can just take up all of my time, because now I have to spend time trying to figure out, well, what am I gonna do next? And I don't know what to cross off on my to-do list, you know? And so when I have a list, if I had 5 things to do today, and I only got to 3 of them, then I know tomorrow I need to pick up those 2 and add them to tomorrow. So a part of being resilient is having that type of daily routine. And it also helps you with proactive problem solving. Because when you're involved with the routine, you can, excuse me, make faster decisions. You know, you got a decision to make, and you know what you're doing, where you're going, you have everything in place, and you can decide, I'm gonna do this or that. But when you just wake up, oh, I'm gonna see what today holds for me, it's hard to make a decision. And stress management, Greg talked about burnout. A resilience routine leads to a reduction in stress levels. And we do that by sticking with our routine and not crowding our lives with so many things that don't really matter. I know sometimes I'm guilty of that. And I have to ask myself, does this really matter? Is this gonna help me with what I'm trying to do? Okay. Next is elevating business relationships through communication. So communication is so important for leadership. Effective leaders witness an increase in team productivity when they are good communicators. When you are working with a team and you know what's going on, everybody's in the know, it's so much easier to accomplish whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. But when you have to keep asking questions, I remember I was in an organization when I was really young, and I was working with somebody who really didn't like me. And that was odd. How could she not like me? How could she not like me? And so what happened, she wouldn't give me information on how to do my job. She would say, call the main office. Well, on the other end, the main office was saying, well, why is she calling here so much, asking for information, when this person is a director and she can just ask her? So one day, her boss came to meet with me to ask me, why are you calling so much? Why aren't you just asking her? And I said, well, she keeps telling me to call. That led to a lot of trouble. All she had to do was give me the information, but instead she lost her job and I got her job. Next is enhanced customer satisfaction happens when you have a good business relationship. Executives believe communication directly influences customer satisfaction. And don't we all want customer satisfaction? Because if the customers are satisfied, they're gonna tell other people, they're gonna come back. That word of mouth is one of the best marketing tools that we could ever have. But that's a skill that we really have to work on. And then employee engagement. Companies with strong communicators see a rise in employee engagement. And it's so wonderful to work in an environment where everybody is engaged. You know, have you ever worked in an office where everybody's working on what they're supposed to be working on, and they are willing to help you do what you're trying to do, and when you have an opportunity to help them, you know, that's a good thing, but it takes a lot of communication of plans, expectations, and also getting input from your employees. Now, with the growth mindset, and that's a huge part of my life coaching program, is working with people concerning the stories we tell ourselves. That is really huge, because a lot of times we tell ourselves things that are not true. You ever told yourself something that wasn't true and it became an obstacle for you? Somebody brought it to your attention and you thought you weren't capable, and just out of nowhere, somebody came and told you how much they were impacted by something that you did or a product that you sold, and how wonderful it was, how wonderful you are. That's something that is really, the growth mindset is a sort of liberation, because now you're free to grow and you don't see your circumstances always as the end or detrimental. You're in a situation, it's not working out, but it's gonna work out, you know, and we don't take criticism personally and feel defeated, but we look at it as an opportunity for growth. And so we talk about mindset and revenue. Entrepreneurs with a growth mindset are more likely to experience increased revenue. I think that's one that we should all remember. Mindset has an impact on your revenue. It's not just some crazy thing that somebody came up with. Innovation, it's an innovation catalyst. A growth mindset fosters innovation and driving business success. When you have a growth mindset, you're open to new ideas, doing things a new way. When those new trends come out, you're willing to try it out and get on board with it and see how it can be a benefit to you and your business. And then also, when you foster a growth mindset, you continue to improve. That mindset shift leads to an improvement in overall business performance. And that's because of what's going on in your head. It's not your competition. It's not the person that's trying to sabotage you. It's what's going on up here that really matters. It's the way you look at those things that will really help to propel you forward in your business. Sorry. And now we're looking at the power of business connections. This is monumental. We really need to be connected. And it's not just the solopreneurs like me, but we all need connections for our business and for our growth. Entrepreneurs with a reliable support network overcomes challenges more effectively because you have people in your network who can help you. I really like being connected, and I can remember when I was going to Europe last year, the day before I left, I got a letter from Motor Vehicles saying my insurance had lapsed. my car insurance, and, they were gonna suspend my license. And I'm like, what? I have everything in place for this trip of a lifetime. I was like, what can I do? I was like, oh, let me call Yvette. She works at motor vehicles. I'm like, Yvette, help me. And so she was busy, but someone in her office told me to come on in, and they looked it up, and she was able to take care of it right on the spot, get the clearance. I had my proof of insurance and everything. She took care of everything, and the next day I was ready for my flight to London so I could go to Paris and see the Eiffel Tower. But if I wasn't connected, who knows? I would have just given up. It's like, how can I do this in one day? Department of Motor Vehicles? I'll be standing there till next week trying to explain to them that I really do have insurance. But through my networking with Yvette, I was able to get it done. Also, with business connections, there's collective wisdom. A strong network provides diverse perspectives, and that aids in decision making. And also, you get emotional support. Having a support network results in a reduction in stress levels, Greg. When you have someone that you can talk to about what you're going through, who understands, they can help you see the positive where you're looking at things that may be all negative, and they can help you get through. Okay. Proven success with strategic self-development. Foster decision-making. Entrepreneurs with strong personal development skills makes decisions faster. It increases employee engagement, and it enhances customer relationships because of the better communication skills that you have. So that's some proof of it. And so some examples of success, and you see a picture of me. And I put that picture there because that was a faith move. I claimed success for my business, and so far it's going really, really well. But we have a couple of business people here that don't know that I'm gonna call on them, but I'm gonna ask them a couple of questions. I wanna ask Greg, what do you do as far as your personal development is concerned? Greg just said the chamber is coming up on the 4th anniversary, and he started at 0, and now the membership is where?
235 companies.
Give him a hand. He has made some excellent changes. I am so happy to be working with him. He's not only the president, he's a mentor for me. So we want to hear, what do you do for personal development, Greg?
I told you we were getting burned out and stressed out, so we took a cruise for, spring break with the kids, and took 5 days off, and, paying for it now, but, I feel like I've been more committed this year. 2024 was kind of my time to try to figure out, what makes me happy and how to unplug and how to be still more productive, because I was working at night. I work all day, and we're in a lot of these types of meetings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just feel like you don't get the work of your business done, or at least I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you wait for the kids to go to bed, and then I'm working until, 12, 1, 2 in the morning. And so, what I took away from yours is I've really been wanting to try to implement a better schedule for myself, because now I just, my schedule leads me around, but it's not actually achieving the goals for the business. So this year, part of what we're doing at the chamber is really looking at making sure we're paying attention to the metrics of the business. What is the bank account? How much are we billing? What events are we holding? How does all that tie to the strategic plan, which is what we created, right, as a group, to say this is what success looks like. So, between unplugging, trying to do a better job of my own personal schedule, and really just trying to be more productive, but without staying up until 1, 2, 3 in the morning,
Right, waiting for my 1:30 a.m. email. Yeah, that's good. Don't do that, Greg. You're doing great. That's really great. I have another person here, my dear friend, Dr. Barbara Holly, a business owner, and I personally knows what she does with her personal development and her attending workshops and conferences. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do with your personal development?
Yes, she's right. I actually enjoy going to workshops, attending conferences, and then online looking for, there's a lot of free information online to assist you with your business. And so that's how I try to do my personal development. Also, I try to personally stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to work out every day. I try to make sure I'm eating well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think keeping your body healthy is important to your development.
Mm-hmm. She went on a vegan cruise.
Yeah.
I said no.
Me
They're like, oh no, Barbara, no. You tell me about that one.
It was fantastic. A lot of great speakers, I told you I like workshops and everything. A lot of great workshops, and, but it was hard finding somebody to go with me.
Okay, well, here are some consequences if you neglect your personal development. You can have stagnation in your innovation. You're doing the same things over and over and over again and realizing you stopped earning revenue, things are not going well, people are leaving, so your business becomes stagnant because your employees are hearing about the new stuff that's going on over there, and we're still doing what we've always done. Employee turnover, here we go. Failing to foster a growth mindset results in a higher employee turnover rate, and missed networking opportunities. Ignoring the importance of a strong support network means missing valuable business connections. We need to be connected so that we can help each other. So these are my 5 secrets. Could you read them with me? Number 1, prioritize continuous learning. Number 2, establish a resilience routine. Number 3, cultivate effective communication. Number 4, foster growth mindset. And number 5, build a strong support network. Any questions? Well, before we get to the questions, because we don't have a lot of time, you just got 2 handouts. For Greg's new team member, Kelsey.
Yes.
Kelsey is wonderful. And she's gonna help Greg get on that schedule, right? Okay, you'll see one that's just an outline of the 5 things that we just talked about. And then this is a take-home exercise, a 30-day strategic personal development challenge. Okay, if you look at this, you don't have to do them in order, but here's a month worth of things that you can do to help improve your personal development. A lot of times we get stuck with verbiage like strategy. I've had somebody to say, well, what's your strategy for this month? Okay, so are you talking about my plan? You want to know what I plan to do this month? And so we don't want to get stuck. A strategy is your plan. What are you planning to do? And you gotta plan, because if you don't plan, you plan to fail. All right, that's elementary.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what this is, and you can take this home and work on that. And anyone have any questions or any comments you would like to make? Yes.
I'd like to comment. I'm old and I've lost my filter. So in order to try to see another perspective, I'll write something and I'll put it into ChatGPT, and it will rewrite it in a different mindset, so then I can revise my thought into something that's not as harsh. You know?
That's wonderful.
And it's very helpful.
ChatGPT is awesome. I love it. One of my favorite tools.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is a game changer for sure.
Yes.
I was just gonna, when you were talking about growth mindset, I am reading, I've actually had this book for a long time, so you guys might all know about it, but it's by Carol Dweck, it's called Growth Mindset.
Yes.
It's really a good one, and I go back and it's such a long book, and I've got it on Audible. So I used to travel more, and I listened to it, but it's not the easiest read, but it's a good resource. I mean, I go back to it and read a few chapters at a time, to refresh, and I think it's great.
Carol Dweck, she did a lot of changes and a lot of schools adopted that when she first came out with that book. Okay, anyone else? Well, let me say thank you to everyone for coming, and I'm Dr. Pam, and I like to say your favorite life coach. And if you are looking to work on any of this personal development I'm talking about, that's what I do best. So I am available. I'm gonna be starting a group in April, and I do have a couple of slots for individual.
How do people get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me, it's written on your handout, this one at the bottom. And on this one, my website is just about live. I'm gonna hear from her today, but that's my website once it becomes live. But you can reach me by, my phone number, my business number to contact me, as well as my email, and I'm on social media. Thank you.